my experience was good. I got to meet awesome people. I got to have awesome teachers. And then I had the opportunity to also work here on campus. So it was really good. It was really good. So far, it's been amazing.
I recommend Columbia College because of an opportunity to get a really good education.
Columbia College is like one of the most famous college in Vancouver. So here I am.
What I would definitely recommend is take all of that experience that you can.
I choose to study in college is because the study fees is cheaper than university and the class size is much smaller than university.
It's really, really nice because you get to know your professors, you get time to ask questions.
I think Vancouver is a city who has huge differences between where I came from. There is a lot of people who came from China, Philippines, and Indian.
It's a really good opportunity for me to know different people from different country and different background.
Columbia College is a really good place for people who are ready to work hard and study. And if you're ready to work hard, it's a really good place to be.
Go out of your lane, like get involved, get to meet people, go out there and volunteer, get a job somewhere, make friends from places you wouldn't usually go to, because you never know who you're going to meet there, and you will make awesome friends if you go out of your comfort zone.
A very good morning from Vancouver in BC. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the town hall session today. We will be covering pre-arrival information for all the new students joining us for winter 2022. My name is Akbuken Cheptibai, and I am one of the admissions officers here at Columbia College. I will be hosting the session today, so please feel free to post your questions in the chat. Please refrain from communicating from each other in the chat. Avoid publishing your personal information like phone numbers, Instagram handles, or email accounts, as this session is being recorded, so the history keeps for the future usage. So please refrain from putting your personal information in it and use English in communicating with us. In today's session, we will be covering admission deadlines, travel updates. We will give you an orientation overview, also give you key dates to look forward to, and we will end with requirements to register from our Student Services Department, and we'll also cover a live Q&A session. Together with me today, I'm joined with a panel of my colleagues from Admissions and Student Services. Please welcome Fernanda Barros, our Student Services Manager, Naf Umed, our Student Life Coordinator, Sally Matase, our Student Engagement Ambassador, and we also have Chelsea Acherno here, our Recruitment Manager. Hi, everyone. So without further ado, I'm just going to pass it on to Chelsea to cover the most important part of today's session. Good luck, Chelsea. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Bukin. You can hear me okay? Okay, I'm just going to get started. So good morning, everybody. My name is Chelsea, and I am the recruitment manager. So many of you have heard from us via email and your journey to choosing Columbia College. Today, I'm going to walk you through the very important pieces of traveling to Canada and some admissions deadlines. So please pay careful attention because some of the travel requirements have changed as of yesterday. Okay, so please pay careful attention. So before we start, we do need to talk about the notice of delivery. Many of you have known that colleges did reopen in fall of 2021. So in winter 2022, there will be courses available in person. We will be following all public health guidelines, where all BC institutions will be following the Ministry of Health's requirements for opening. What this means for students is that you will need to wear masks in public spaces at Columbia College, and you will need to be fully vaccinated before the classes start. If you are unable to travel due to a delayed study permit or travel restrictions, we will be offering limited online delivery with flex classes. So that means the classes will be offered in a format where there's no time zone. You can do it on your own time each week. So it's more flexible for people who are overseas. Okay, so if you are traveling to Canada, though, please prepare to have your classes in person and on campus. Okay, so what's next? For those of you who have had a study permit approved or in the process of this, please confirm your enrollment. You would have seen the message go out shortly about confirming your enrollment. This is where you will have to fill in the form with and upload your study permit. Okay, so the deadline to confirm your enrollment and receive an orientation appointment is December 20th. Okay, so please, if you've already received your study permit, fill out our confirmation of enrollment, upload that study permit so we can get you scheduled for an orientation appointment. If you do not receive your study permit by December 30th, you will be able to register for some online courses from your home country if you wish to do so. Please note there are limited classes available, so you have to let us know that you are unable to travel to Canada. Please note that if you applied for an SDS program, this is a special fast track in 2021, we are no longer allowing deferrals. So if you applied for May 2021 or fall of 2021 and your study permit has arrived, you must register in this semester. We will not allow future deferrals. Okay. If you have questions, I have listed an email there that you can contact directly. Okay, so for study permit updates, IRCC has extended the time spent online from outside of Canada to August 31st. So this is a new development that just was released very shortly ago, that students are allowed to continue studying online if they're outside of Canada. And that studying online will count towards their PGWP. Okay. As I said, again, we will be offering a limited amount of courses that are available to students who are unable to travel to Canada due to delays. However, anybody starting online or in person must submit proof of their visa application before they can receive an orientation appointment. Okay. And again, online classes will be flex. In terms of refunds for study permit rejections, please note that if you receive a study permit rejection before January 17th, you will receive a full refund of your tuition deposit. If you receive a study permit rejection after January 17th, you will receive a refund of the second semester only. Any other inquiries about refunds or penalties, please contact admissions as soon as possible so we can clarify our policies for you, so you're very clear on what you're doing if your study permit has not arrived yet. Okay. So those are sort of the deadlines, the nitty-gritty of getting started, but let's talk about entering Canada. Please pay attention. Yesterday, there was a major announcement from the Government of Canada, so I'm going to give you the most up-to-date information. Entering Canada requires a lot of preparation. Okay, we have very strict border measures in place, but please pay careful attention and continue to check in either with us or the government websites, because they are changing frequently. There's two things you need to prepare before, once things are settled, is you must download ArriveCan, which is an app that you will load all of your arrival details. And you must also fill out Columbia College's travel form. Okay, so this will be emailed to you. It's on the website. You must complete both of these forms with all of your arrival details. So please make sure you pay careful attention to the questions on those forms. But please note, we will not give you an orientation appointment if you do not fill out our travel form, because we must have arrival details of all of our students. Okay. I'm sure you've all heard, guys, there is a new variant of COVID spreading right now, and the world is reacting very quickly. The Omicron variant has changed regulations within Canada, and as it stands, we don't quite know the full impacts on this because it will change as time goes. So please continue to check in. But there are current banned flights for arrivals of nationals from Nigeria, Malawi, Egypt, South Africa, Namibia onward, okay, if you've traveled within the last 14 days. If you are a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident traveling through one of these countries, please contact admissions, because I will tell you the requirements for those nations particularly. Okay, so because of the Omicron variant, there has been a significant change to arrival for all travelers in Canada now, okay? So fully vaccinated travelers, oh, there is an error on these slides. Fully vaccinated travelers are required to test upon arrival now, and they will not be subject to the full quarantine if they receive a negative result, okay? So this means every person arriving in Canada now must take a PCR test upon arrival, and they must quarantine until they have a negative result, okay? So this will happen at the airport. This is an announcement that was released just yesterday. There is some errors on this slide, so I will make sure that the current information is sent out with the new version, okay? To be considered fully vaccinated, please know that the Government of Canada has recently expanded which vaccinations are approved. So now there are 3 additional ones, but if to be fully vaccinated, you must have 2 complete doses of Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Janssen, Bharat Biotech, Covaxin, Sinopharm, or Sinovac. So this is really great news for those of you who have had vaccinations that were outside of the 4 that were approved before, okay? Please make sure you carry your original certificates with you, and you will have to upload them to ArriveCan, okay? All travelers, again, must still present a quarantine location on both ArriveCan app and our travel form in case you are positive upon arrival, but you will need to quarantine until you have that negative result. Okay. Unvaccinated travelers, you must prepare to quarantine in Canada. So unvaccinated would mean you don't have any doses or only 1 dose, or you have not had 14 days since your last dose, okay? Quarantine is still mandatory in Canada, and you will have a COVID test on arrival as well as on day 8, and you must quarantine for the full 14 days. We can assist you with quarantine arrangements in our homestay program only. Spaces are filling up, so please make sure you reach out to our homestay coordinator to arrange this as quickly as possible. For private bathroom, it is $1,000 for 14 days. Shared bathroom, it is $800 for 14 days. Okay, so you can quarantine in private facilities if your negative test results. But please note, effective January 15th, there are further travel changes happening by the Government of Canada in which everybody must be fully vaccinated to enter Canada. So if it happens that you need to travel to Canada late after January 15th, you must be fully vaccinated. Okay. Okay, and just a few notes on quarantine, guys. I'm not going to talk too much about this anymore because this is not a new story. You must take quarantine seriously in Canada. There are very strict penalties if you are caught disobeying this. It is punishable by law, and there is a fine. When you go into quarantine, do not stop anywhere, do not get groceries, do not see a friend, do not buy a SIM card. You must go directly to the location. It's important to prepare in advance for this, so bring enough things to occupy your time, some games, some books, or make some plans with friends, Netflix, whatever it is to get you through the 14 days if necessary, because it is a little bit difficult, okay? In terms of quarantine, Columbia College will check in on you as well as the government, so you will have your teams activated. This will be given to you during orientation, in which we will check in on you. You must respond to these checks. Failure to do so may result in a report to Vancouver Police Department that you are not in quarantine. Okay, so please take this seriously. This is how we stop COVID and keep our businesses and everything open. Okay, so prior to departure, please notify us of your details. Okay, we've talked about this before. You have to do this via ArriveCan for the Government of Canada, as well as filling out Columbia College's travel form. Okay, so all the information about your flights, where you're staying, all of this will be uploaded directly there. And please make sure you obtain a PCR test certificate within 72 hours of departure. This is an entrance requirement for Canada still. In terms of documents that you need to carry with you while traveling, you will have the CC travel form that has your arrival details, as well as ArriveCan app with that, your proof of medical insurance, your negative PCR test, your letter of acceptance from Columbia College, digital and physical copies of your vaccinations if available, and please remember to bring a copy of your academic documents as well, because you will need to show these to Columbia College, as well as your passport. Please note that we are no longer offering travel letters to students because they're no longer necessary. All you need to show is your letter of acceptance from Columbia College and your ArriveCan information if you are asked for this, because traveling and borders are open now, so no need to get a travel letter anymore. Okay. COVID-19 in BC, guys, it's pretty well under control so far, but as I said, this new variant is spinning things a little bit, so please take note of current changes or keep in close contact with us. But in general, life in BC is pretty much back to normal. We have 81% of our population, it might be a bit higher now, are fully vaccinated. Most cases that are happening are amongst unvaccinated populations. So we're largely back to normal with, social distancing measures, wearing masks in public, things like this. But please don't delay getting vaccinated because it is very important for arrival, and continue to practice good hygiene, wash your hands, stay vigilant, and obey social distancing measures. But what you will find when you come to Canada, and don't panic yet because we will help you with this, is that you will need to register for your BC vaccine card. Okay, so it's a vaccine passport is what we're calling it. And this is required to enter most public spaces in British Columbia. So that's a restaurant, a gym, if you want to go to a concert, party, something like this, you will have to show the card, which is demonstrated down below there on your phone, as well as ID. So please make sure that once you arrive in Canada, you do register for this because you will need it for restaurants. In the meantime, it does take, sometimes 1 week to 2 weeks to register your international vaccines. You must carry your proof of vaccination if you want to enter any public space, okay? But don't stress, we're going to walk you through this when you come. I just wanted to give you a heads up of what it takes to enter most public spaces. Okay, so just a few reminders before I wrap some things up here is that always be sure to include your full name and your student ID whenever you communicate with Columbia College from now on. It's very hard for us to figure out what you're asking for if we don't know who you are. So please give us full name and student ID. And also make sure the email that you want to receive correspondence on is updated within admissions. Okay, so if you have had a new email or something, please make sure we have what you want. Check your spam and your junk box and your email often, because sometimes our emails end up in the spam folder. So just make sure you're checking things regularly as well. Most importantly, please update us and keep us in the loop now with your study permit if it's already been approved, or if you're still waiting, that's okay. But once you have it, please update us so we can get you information, get you on the orientation list. And last but not least, do not send more than one email for an inquiry. Sometimes I have students that send me 7 emails with the same question, and all this does is slow us down. Please allow 1 to 3 business days for an adequate response from staff. Remember, we're helping hundreds of students that are arriving, so we might not be able to get back to you immediately. 1 to 3 days is usually the appropriate time, but do not continue to send emails because it just will slow down our process overall. Also, remember, we do not work on weekends here, okay? So if you email us on a Saturday, don't expect the email on Sunday. Please wait for business days, okay? And so that pretty much wraps up my section here. We will have a question and answer session about traveling again, so don't stress. We will be able to ask those questions again. But in the meantime, I'm going to introduce my colleagues that are going to walk you through the orientation process, which is how you become a student, how you register. So I'd like to introduce my colleague Fernanda Barros, who is our Student Services Manager, and Nav Umed, who is our Student Life Coordinator. They're going to walk you guys through the next section here. So thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nav, and next person on the screen next to me is Fernanda. I will be explaining what and how orientation will unfold in the next coming month. So please bear with me. So orientation for all students will take place both online and in person. The online component will be shared with you very soon, starting next week. And the in-person component will happen in the first week of January. As just mentioned, the information will be shared throughout the month of December. Registration will start on December 28th and will end on January 7th. Classes will officially begin on Monday, January 10th next year. What does orientation involve? What we want students to do is get familiar with our learning platforms and technology, getting to know other students, make new friends, prepare for your registration, know what classes you want to enroll in, talk to your advisors, learn about services that we provide, whether it's career services, counseling, academic advice, and so on and so on. And most importantly is to make sure that you are ready for your classes. This is only for secondary students, which includes senior secondary, adult secondary, and accelerated secondary. So university transfer students and associate degree students, you can ignore this part, but you can still listen to it. It's always good information. So grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12 students, your online orientation will start on Wednesday, January 5th. Your course planning and registration will again happen online. This will be done by a secondary counselor and advisor on January 6th. And all secondary students are required to be on campus for an in-person orientation on January 7th. So key dates. These are the dates that you need to keep in mind. They're very important, as the name says. So we'll start with December 8th. December 8th will be the day when we will give you access to your Columbia College email account. Please note that if you have paid your tuition deposit in full and have provided all documents, you will then be given access to your Columbia College email, Microsoft 365 accounts, and student portal. Please make sure to keep your email updated with our admissions team and check your spam and junk folder often. Sometimes your email platform might think that our email is a spam. On December 15th, you will get to connect with your student engagement ambassador, also known as a C. You will be contacted by the C either through your college email or your team's account, most probably both. C's are current Columbia College students who are here to answer your questions, help throughout the registration process, and support you to be ready for your classes on January 10th. December 28th, you will get to attend your welcome and registration sessions. During that week, maybe a little bit before December 28th, you you will be sent an email and you will be invited to attend different info sessions related to your program, your registration, and all the services that we offer at Columbia College. This information will be sent to you via your Columbia College email account. So keep checking the updates through your Columbia College email and not just your personal email. This is very important. So attendance at these sessions are very, very important. We have noticed that students who do not attend these info sessions tend to be lost by the time they need to start classes when the semester starts. So this is the reason why we've made it mandatory for all students to attend these info sessions and make sure that they're registered in the right classes. The last day to register is January 7th, which would be the last day before classes start. By December 30th, all students need to confirm whether they are planning to register for the winter 2022 semester with our admissions team. Also, by December 30th, you need to complete the Colombia101 module. The Colombia101 module is on our is a module on our learning platform. It's a self-paced program that is designed to help you learn about all the support services that Columbia College offers, as well as getting familiar and learning a little bit about the learning platforms that we use, that all, if not all, most instructors use for their classes. Now we are in winter 2022. It's officially started. January 10th, first day of classes. You don't need to worry if you're not in the right class for some reason. We have our student engagement ambassador who will help you prepare and make sure that you're in the right class. So you don't need to worry. We're here to help. January 17th, this will be the last day to make any changes to your class or schedule. For our refund policy, I will let Chelsea jump in here and give you guys some more information.
Yeah, so just to quickly touch base on this, when it comes to refunds, you need to make sure it's about if you have a study permit or not a study permit. Okay, so we gave you some details before about the last day to get a full refund if you don't have a study permit is of January 17th. Okay, if you have a study permit though, you must confirm your enrollment. And once you go on to orientation and you start the orientation and registration process, penalties begin. Okay, so there are no opportunities for full refund anymore at this stage. So if you're having concerns about this, the link is there. You can write to admissions at any time to have our refund policy clarified. But please note that if you have a study permit and you enter Canada, you are no longer permitted to have a refund. Okay, so we'll touch base on this at other times via email, but I just wanted to give a quick overview. Thanks, Nev.
All right, so again, these are the key dates. We've sort of made a little summary. If you guys want to take a screenshot, a picture of this, you can do that. Do keep in mind that we will upload this on YouTube, so you should be able to find it at all times. But we wanted to make it easy for you guys. So again, December 8th, you will be given access to your Columbia College email and Microsoft 365 accounts. On December 15th, you will be able to connect with your student engagement ambassador. On the 28th, you will start attending info sessions, whether it's about the services that we offer at the college and info sessions related to your program. By December 30th, you need to complete Colombia101. Again, from December 30th to January 7th, will be the registration of your classes. So this is the period where you would be able to choose your courses, change your courses if necessary, if you feel like this course is not for you. And then moving on to January 10th, this will be the first day of classes for our winter 2022 semester. And last but not least, January 17th, this will be the last day that you can make any changes to your classes or schedule. So as I've mentioned many times so far, we have student engagement ambassadors, also known as Cs. We have Sally who joined us here today, and she will tell you a little bit about her role.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sally, and as Nav pointed out earlier, I'm a student engagement ambassador. I'm also college. So, what we do, our roles as Cs are we connect you with, we work with counselors, we help you sign up for your Microsoft Teams if you don't know how to do it. We'll contact you on December 15, and then we'll communicate through either email or through Teams, and we'll help you answer questions you have regarding registration with the help of the counselors, of course. We organize events, weekly events every week. There's multiple Cs that work with all of you students. We have weekly events, and we don't do them, well, we do the events online, and this semester we'll be doing some events on campus just so we get everyone involved. Students that are here, both here, and students that are not here as well. And yeah, we'll be happy to work with all of you, and thank you.
All right, thank you, Sally. So let's keep going. Math placement. So students who are registering in a university level mathematics, economics, and most computer science courses are required to write the Columbia College's math placement test, something that we refer to as MPT. It's easier to call it that way. So all university level students are required to take MPT before they register. You are usually contacted by our admissions team, and from there on, you're scheduled a date and time for you to take your MPT. Please note that if you miss it, you'll have to reschedule, which will most probably delay your registration. Make sure if you have one scheduled already that you do attend to it on time. If you need more information about the MPT, or you need to download a study guide or a sample test, please go to the website that you can see on the screen. Registration requirements. So in order for you to register, the school needs you to pay your tuition deposit in full. You also need to fill out the enrollment confirmation form to receive your orientation appointment. You need to take the MPT. You need to complete the Colombia101 Moodle module. And you need to attend your orientation and information sessions. Medical insurance. We recommend that all students who are traveling in advance to begin their studies in Canada in January 2022 purchase medical insurance before their arrival, in case by the time they get here, medical treatment is required. Our international student insurance provider, also known, they are GuardMe. They can provide medical insurance to students from their arrival date until the end of the year at a cost of $1.65 a day. You can use the link available on the website, on the screen, to purchase medical insurance until December 31st. Please note that you will need your Columbia College ID. It's usually a number that starts with 8, 6-digit number, in order to get the medical insurance coverage. Once you complete your registration at the end of December, or it could be beginning of January as well, you will automatically be enrolled for GuardMe coverage from January 1st all the way to April 30th. Oh, there's a typo. This should be 2022, not 2020. So GuardMe is a private insurance company that we only make available for students who just arrive in Canada. All BC residents are required to be covered by the British Columbia's Medical Services Plan. We refer to it as MSP. It is mandatory by law for all BC residents to be covered by MSP. So once you get here, you will need to enroll for MSP. We have people here who can help you with this. So once you come in and you've done your orientation, your registration, we will get into more details about this. So if you need any help at any point, this email address that you can see on the screen, this is where you want to send your emails. It's studentservices@columbiacollege.ca. Please, as Chelsea mentioned earlier, please refrain from sending several emails about the same subject, or if you think we're not replying, it's not that we don't want to reply, it's just that we're busy and we will only reply on business days. So yeah, hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you, Nav, Chelsea, and Sally. I will open the live Q&A session now. Please, everyone, post your questions in the chat. Do not communicate with each other. Please refrain from doing that in the chat. If I could have all the panel back, please. Good here. Perfect. Okay, so we have received quite a lot of questions. One of the most important one was about how soon can they travel? So one of the questions I have in here is a student is planning to travel 3 weeks prior to the start of the classes. Is that a normal time for them to travel? Will they need an enrollment letter or travel letter with them?
Yeah, so IRCC had notified us in the past that it is appropriate to travel to Canada 4 weeks in advance of classes starting, not 5 weeks, not 6 weeks. Okay, so we're getting towards that window where it's appropriate to start traveling. That being said, as I mentioned before, we are no longer offering travel letters because it's not necessary anymore. The borders are open. Before there were lots of restrictions, so you needed this. So all you need now is your letter of acceptance and all of the Canadian required travel forms. Okay, so 4 weeks prior to classes starting is appropriate travel time.
Thank you. The next question I have here is, how many courses are available online and what are the courses available for online classes?
I'll take that one. It's not too many because we only recently received this information from IRCC, and we had already made arrangements with our instructors about how the schedule will be, basically. So it's not too many. We are trying our best to add online classes back to the schedule to accommodate students who cannot travel. But at the moment, we cannot really give a number, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll just pop onto this too. Please remember that our online courses are being reserved for students who are unable to travel to Canada because of border restrictions, or students who have not received their study permit yet and want to proceed online while they're waiting for their study permit. Okay, so this is who they are being reserved for in the beginning. And if there's space later, students might be able to change their courses. But if you have a study permit and if you're in Canada, you are expected to attend classes in person.
Thank you. I have quite a lot of questions about medical insurance. Maybe I'll group them all in one. So a lot of students are asking if it's compulsory for travels. Is it part of the tuition fees? And if not, how can they obtain it?
Okay, I'll take this one again. So is it mandatory for travel? It's not a travel insurance. Travel insurance is more from your end. If you would like to get one, you're most welcome to. Reason why we mention medical insurance before January 1st, so up until December 31st, is because everyone in Canada needs to have medical coverage. That's basically why we recommend we don't recommend you should have medical insurance coverage. As for the question about whether you paid it in your tuition fees, no, the school pays for your first semester's medical insurance coverage. So as I mentioned earlier, once you register for your classes, either at the end of December or beginning of January, you will automatically get medical insurance coverage from January 1st all the way until April 30th, 2022.
Yeah, I'll just add to that as well. It's only for early arrivals, okay? So if you're arriving on December 12th, but as Nav said, you will not get registered for our insurance policy until December 30th or January 1st, we're recommending that you buy travel or medical insurance for those extra days, and it's very affordable. We're in the middle of a pandemic. It's winter in Canada. Things happen. You're traveling. The last thing you want is to get sick in Canada and not be covered. Okay, so I think it's very affordable right now. It's like $1.60 a day or something to top up your plan. So we recommend you do this if you're arriving early. But if you're arriving, right when orientation starts and enrollment, you don't have to worry about it.
Thank you. I have a question here. I believe from a student who resides in a country that was recently added into the country list of, a banned country list. So the question here says, what to do if you are in a recently banned country? What if you cannot travel before January 15th and you are not able for vaccination?
Yeah, so complicated, right? Things are evolving. If you are not eligible for vaccination and you cannot travel prior to January 15th, I'm going to invite you to send me an email, our admissions team, because we will look into this a little bit more detailed. We only heard about this rule changing yesterday at 4 p.m. So there's still some things that are evolving. So please don't panic yet. We will look into this specific thing for you. So please send admissions an email with that inquiry. It'll come to me and I'll work with our medical team here to sort of see what is evolving in that area. If you are from one of the countries that are banned for travel from Canada, you simply cannot travel to Canada within 14 days of those. So most students, I think it would be similar to the ban in India. You'd have to travel via a country that's accepting flights, stay there for 14 days, and then come into Canada. So it is complicated. This has just been announced, but any student from Africa, please feel free to contact us for more information as the situation evolves.
Thank you. I have quite a lot of questions about MPT. So again, let me group them in one full section. Should I sit for MPT? Is it important? Does it affect my registration? Can it be taken online? And what happens if I missed my appointment?
You want me to do that, Nav? Sure. Okay. Yes. MPT is mandatory. Okay. Everybody in a university level. So not secondary. If you're a high school student, you don't have to. But if you are an associate degree, university transfer, UPrep student, you must take the MPT. This is the first step to orientation. So yes, it's important. You will not be allowed to register without it. This is the first step. We'll get you on the orientation list and schedule your MPT. It is online. Okay, so we will be sending you this information out where there are practice tests. You can go online, you can do a couple practices so you know what to expect. If you miss your test, my best advice, do not miss your test, okay? We only have limited amounts of MPTs available every day. If you miss your test, there's no guarantee you're gonna get it tomorrow or the day after. You might get an MPT date that's 2 weeks later now, and that means your whole registration is going to be delayed. So if something happens, like there is a power outage or something major that has affected your ability to take the MPT, notify us immediately, and we'll do the best to accommodate this. But if you just sleep in and miss your test, you're going to get the next one that's available. Okay, so at this stage, MPT is the most important beginning of orientation, so don't miss it. Oops.
Thank you. I have a series of questions regarding the enrollment confirmation form. So one of the questions states, there are 3 options on the form. Could you please guide us as to how to fill it? And then somebody else says, I mistakenly chose the wrong option. Can I redo the application form? And I also have questions about the travel form. Do you want me to group them in this one or separately?
I think
the travel
separate.
form, yeah, okay. But it's the same thing. It pretty much says, sorry, it just says, if I did something wrong on my travel form, should I refill it or not?
I think they can just notify us of the error and we can change it rather than sending a whole new form. I think that's the best way, just to send us an email, say I filled this form out, but this part was wrong, and then we can adjust that. In terms of the confirmation of enrollment, what we're basically looking for on this is your study permit information, okay? And so it's essentially saying, yes, I have a study permit. There's when you will upload your either like visa stamp that's in your passport or even the IRCC letter. Like if you don't have your passport back yet, that's okay. It's just basically notifying us that you have this. The second part would be, no, I don't have it yet, where you have to upload your proof of application. So we're just basically trying to make sure, okay, have you even started this process? Okay. And then I think the third option, Buchan, correct me if I'm wrong, is it about starting online?
That's what I understand. So there are 3 options. So enrollment confirmation form currently has 3 options in it. So the whole reason behind enrollment confirmation form is for us to project how many students are intending to commence their studies with us in the upcoming semester. So if you are currently looking at it or you received an email asking you to fill the form, you can either say yes or no. So if you are not ready to commence your studies with us in the upcoming semester, it means it's due to you not having applied for your study permit yet. And if you are in this case, it's likely that you will not obtain your visa on time. So maybe request a deferral. If you have already initiated your study permit, you have a proof of application submission or study permit approval, you select one of the yes options, which will then prompt you to the next steps. So if you have any questions about enrollment confirmation form, please feel free to email us at admissions@columbiacollege.ca. You can also return an email to the person who initially invited you to fill the form. So Mrs. Trisha Gunardi, Director of Admissions, Recruitment and Marketing. I think this pretty much explains what the form is for. Again, it helps us to project how many people are coming so we can do our best to provide a smooth orientation for you. That brings me to my next question here. If a student is under 18 and could not get vaccinated, could they still attend in-person classes?
I'm going to invite those people who are unable to get vaccinated to send us an email directly so we can look into this specifically. And please just send us an email with your ID, because we need to look into where is your country, because from there we can contact our local representatives if you're from India or Kenya and sort of look into, is there a misunderstanding here locally, or what are the requirements locally, so then we can adjust it back here. So please send us a specific email with your full information with that, because off the top of my head, I don't know the answer to this, so we have to look into this a bit.
Thank you. I have a lot of questions still.
Sorry, Buchan, I just want to add to that though. If you are unvaccinated, please note that you can get vaccinated when you arrive in Canada. Okay, so during your quarantine period, we will set you up with how to get vaccinated from within Canada. And we will encourage you to do this the day you get out of quarantine. Okay, so don't fully panic. We will be able to get you vaccinated from within Canada.
Thank you. So I think the next question could be addressed to Sally or Nav or Fernanda. So the question is, what is Colombia 101? Could you explain more about it? I couldn't understand.
I'll take that one. Sorry. Colombia 101 is a module that we have designed to help students get used to life as a Columbia College student. So we base all, if not all, most of our instructors use this platform, the Moodle platform, to teach their classes. So we thought that it would be a good idea to make a module that helps you prepare for your orientation and your for when classes start, and use the same design outline to have students ready for when it's time to start classes. Not only does it follow the same outline as a normal class, we also have a very important information out there about what are the services that we provide. So just a few of them, top of my head, we have academics advice, counseling services, career services, immigration services, and so on. So it's more to tell you where and when you can find help if you need any, and who you need to contact. Hope this helps a little bit. Please note that it is mandatory for all students to finish the module by December 30th. Very important.
If I could add to that as well, if you still don't understand how it works, do not worry, because when your Cs contact you, they could still help you navigate through how to go about the Colombia 101 module. So don't worry about that right now. We'll help you with that.
Thank you. I have a follow-up question on this regarding registration. So I believe I have a secondary student and a university transfer student asking if they will receive some guidance as to what courses to select.
Yes. For the secondary student, I believe the date is January 6th. A high school counselor or advisor will do course planning with you one-on-one and will do the registration with you. As for the UT student, we will have not only advisors who will be there to help you during your registration time, but we will also have course planning sessions that we will schedule starting December 28th, where you will be able to talk to other advisors, academic advisors, to plan which courses you can take for winter 22. And if time permits, you would be able to talk about courses that you could take in later semesters as well. Yeah, I hope this answers the question.
Another thing I would like to point out is Cs are students like you. We are not academic advisors. So we get a lot of questions from new students as to which courses to pick for different programs. And I would like to point out that we are not academic advisors. We're just students like you are. We just help you about how to go. We just help you on like how to navigate through like Moodle and like help you connect with a counselor. So it's very important that you attend the course planning sessions, because that's when you will get the information that you need for the specific program you're in and the courses that you need to pick that you can put towards that program for the degree or the university transfer program that you're in.
I have a lot of questions, so I apologize if we don't cover all of them. Feel free to email them at admissions@columbia.ca or studentservices@columbiacollege.ca if there's something we didn't cover. But I will probably pick the last three. So one of the most asked question is, what is the last day to defer my studies? I'll probably start with that, and the two others I'll address later.
So this is two parts, guys. If you have applied for an SDS program, okay, in 2021, you are no longer allowed to defer, okay? So you must register this semester. If you've not been an SDS student, then the rules are a little bit different. The last day to defer would essentially be December 30th, because this is the last day to confirm enrollment or tell us that you don't have your study permit and you want to go online, okay? So December 20th is the first deadline that we're asking all students with study permits to confirm their enrollment. But there is this extra 10-day period in there because you may get your study permit. But after December 30th, basically December 30th, you have to inform us if you're going to study online or you are going to defer. So that is the very last day to get an orientation appointment, because we have the testing and all these other things to arrange before classes start on the 10th. So December 30th, mark your calendars. If you do not tell us what's happening with your life on that day, you will have to defer. But if you're SDS, you have to make a decision to study online or not.
Thank you, Chelsea. That kind of covers my next question, which was, if I'm not able to travel, can I still start my studies online? So this was also addressed by a student who is still waiting for the decision on their study permit. So again, you are able to commence your studies online as long as you have initiated a study permit application and you provide us a proof of it. But if you are wanting to attend classes in person, you have to physically be in Canada by January 7th, which is the last day of registration.
Yeah, and so if you want online, same date holds December 30th, you have to notify us, because as Nav said before, we're still in the process of arranging courses and we need to know who needs these, right? So please let us know. If you don't have your study permit, upload your proof of application and inform us that you want online classes, and we will proceed.
Thank you. So I have a question, I think, to Student Services. Could you please define what flex courses are? Also another question, can I take 6 courses in one semester?
Ooh la la, someone is very eager to study. In a student's first semester, we highly recommend students not to take 6 courses. It's a lot. The course load is a lot. You keep in mind that you're coming to a new country. Everything is new. A lot of students do not have their families. They don't have the same support as they do back home. It's not as easy as you think. I'm not saying you guys are not smart. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it could be harder than what you think to take as many as 6 courses. Generally, students take between 3 and 4 courses in their first semester, 3 being the minimum that you need to take to maintain full-time student status. But of course, you might. I don't know how you are as a student. So if you think you can take more than 3 or 4 courses, you will have a chance to talk to an academic advisor closer to the end of December, and they should be able to help you out. As for the other question, what's a flex course? That's always a funny one to explain. So usually classes, they have a location, so they would be in a classroom. They would start at a specific time, and at a specific time, you get to meet your instructor, same person, the instructor in that classroom at that specific time. Whereas a flex course, all the material is ready, but you study at your own pace. Of course, there will be assignments that are due maybe at the end of the week, or you have a quiz that you need to submit in at the end of the week. But when it comes to studying, you will not be meeting your instructor, whether it is every Monday from 2 to 4 online or in person in a classroom. So you could basically be studying, if you feel like it, 8 p.m. at night. Doesn't matter. Today you want to study 1.5 hours. Sure. Tomorrow you want to study 2 hours. Sure. That still works. It's more of think of it this way. There is no set time for you to study for that class or for you to do your assignments. Hope this helps. I see a lot of students messaging about MPT, not doing well or failing MPT. I'm just going to take that one real quick. Don't worry, nobody can fail the MPT test. It's a great test in a way. Nobody can fail it. We only use it. We only have all students take it so that we know the math level you're at, so that we can place you in the best courses for you to start your studies at Columbia College. So some of you might get 100%. That just means you will be placed in a higher math level course. If you say you get 50%, it just means that your math level will be a little bit lower. That's all it means. There is no failing. There is no passing with flying colors. Of course, if the better you do, of course it looks good, but there's no failing. Don't worry about that. If you have already taken your MPT, you don't need to retake it already. I hope this answers the MPT questions.
Thank you so much, Nav. There were a lot of questions asking about the dates, so I just brought back the slide with the key dates. Please take a picture of this. This is your next life for the upcoming months before you start your classes with us. And before we summarize today's session, I just want to address one last question, I think, Chelsea, to you, and you probably could recap pre-arrival procedure. If I am fully vaccinated, do I still need to quarantine? If you could take that question and kind of give a summary about the arrival details. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Because as I said, yesterday the rules changed for everybody entering Canada, international students, Canadians, PRs, everything. Effective November 30th, Canada has amended all entrance requirements. all travelers must now, who are arriving by air, get a test upon arrival and quarantine until they have their results. So yes, if you are a fully vaccinated traveler, you must quarantine in Canada now until your negative results are released. You are able to do this in your own accommodations or anything like this. It just, and I don't anticipate that time frame being long, maybe 2 or 3 days maximum until you get the results back. The test will be at the airport on arrival. You will get it. You'll get the test results probably electronically. So yes, everybody now, effective yesterday, has to quarantine upon arrival regardless of vaccination status. If you are unvaccinated, the rules have changed in that you will have to quarantine at a designated facility. We do not know what that means yet. Okay, it was just posted online yesterday. We will have more information on this in the coming days. So please pay careful attention to these arrival details as they have changed. But the message out here, guys, everybody, you need a PCR test before you board a plane in Canada. You need a test when you arrive in Canada, and you must quarantine until those results are negative if you are fully vaccinated. Please don't stress that we will be sending out all this information electronically, a recording of this, as well as on our website, and you can reach out to us at any time. But the last message I will say about arrival details is this is effective this week. With this new emerging variant, we do not know what will happen weekly. There's a chance things will change. We will notify the website or put things on the website as they do change, but please do not make your travel plans based on today's data, and do not check again before you get on a plane, okay? Because things might have changed. Unfortunately, it was very, very stable up until yesterday, but it is changing. So yes, please pay careful attention now and stay in contact with us before you board your flight.
Yeah, that sums up today's session. Thanks everyone for joining, and thanks to our amazing panel for answering the questions today. This session is recorded, so a copy will be made available on our YouTube channel. And after the session, we will send you an email with the link directly sending you to the YouTube link. If you have any other questions that were left unanswered, please address them to admissions@columbiacollege.ca. And stay alert for our next sessions. If there will be significant changes, we will host another town hall and cover all of the questions you might have at that point. Stay safe, and thank you again. We're looking forward to welcome you at Columbia College. Bye-bye.